Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal, just in case you're new here. But today I'm going to be starting off my August TBR with my N.E.W.Ts TBR, and then I'm going to go into the other books that I want to read this month, because in order to pass my N.E.W.Ts I only have to read 3 books. So let's just get into it. I took my owls, I was a seer, and for my N.E.W.Ts I have to get just an O in divination, which I think is pretty crazy because I was looking at everyone else's, TBRs, and they all seem like they're reading a lot, but I think 3 books is enough because there are a lot of books that I want to get to before September that I have here on my TBR for August. In order to get an O in divination, I have to read 3 books. I have to get an acceptable, I have to get an exceeded expectations, and then finally I have to get an outstanding in divination. In order to get an A, which is acceptable, I have to read a white book. For that, I'm going with Blue Lily Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. Now, this whole book really isn't technically white, but its background is white. The base of the book is white. So I've been really meaning to get to this. I absolutely love the first and second book of the series, but for some reason I just put it down. So I want to get back into this before Call Down the Hawk comes out this fall. And I feel like this would be a great book to read for divination because there's tarot cards and, ley lines and all kinds of spooky, eerie things. And divination has to do with, seeing the future and predicting things. So I think this would be a great book for that challenge. And I have to get an E, which is read a short story or a collection of short stories. And for that, I am picking up Joe Hill's Full Throttle. I was lucky enough to get my hands on an arc of this at BookCon this year, so I cannot wait to read this. And from what I heard, there is a introduction in here about Joe and Stephen King when Joe was a kid, and a little adventure that they went on together. So I'm curious to see what he says about that. But I heard the stories in here are really, really good so far from like the 54 ratings that are on Goodreads, so I can't wait to read them for myself. So I'm gonna read a couple from this short story collection. And finally, to get an O in divination, I have to read the last book that I bought or took from my library. So the last book that I recently purchased is The Daughters of Temperance Hobbs, and this is a Salem witch inspired novel. So I feel like that would go really well with divination as well. So I'm really, really excited about my little combination of books here. And they're cool. They're all kind of like the same colors too. So The Daughters of Temperance Hobbs is basically like a historical fiction about a girl who finds out that she is related to Deliverance Dane, who was a witch who was basically killed during the Salem witch trials. So this book is kind of a continuation of that. I don't know if you read the physic book of Deliverance Dane, but that's one of my favorite Salem inspired novels. And that book is just, this is like the cousin of that book basically. There's gonna be similar characters in this book, but it is meant to be a standalone. So if you are interested in picking this up, you can read this first before the physic book of Deliverance Dane. But I do recommend reading that first, just so you can see if you like the author's writing and all of that good stuff. And then you can kind of have a little bit of a background of what this story is going to be about. Okay, so that's it for my N.E.W.Ts, and I have a whole month to read those books. So I'm excited. I think I'm going to be able to get them done. Next up, I have books here that I've been wanting to read for quite some time, so let me show you what those are. So the first book that I'd love to get to is It by Stephen King. This would be a reread for me. I just want to reread this before the movie comes out. I'm dying to see chapter 2, so I would love to reread this just in lieu of the new movie coming out in September. I think it's coming out September 6th, which is really exciting. And I wanted to show you guys a little something that I picked up recently if you're a fan of Funko Pop. I have this problem where I see Funko Pops and I need to buy them. So I saw these in Hot Topic, and yes, I have two, actually I have 3 Pennywise Funko Pops. I collect the horror ones the most because I just love them, but this is Pennywise with the skateboard. I'm gonna take him out of the box. I know you're not supposed to. Everyone's like, oh, don't take him out of the box, but I take them out of the box. That's what I do. So this way you can see how cute he is. Here he is. What does it say? Won't be there for him either. So cool. And then the other one, I really wasn't going to get 2. I was only going to get the Hot Topic exclusive one. But because of the balloon situation, I needed to get this guy. And the balloon says, I love dairy on it. So this is just perfect for my Stephen King shelf. Like, so perfect. He's so cute. So these are going to be on my desk. I just love staring at him. And then I'll make it to my Stephen King shelf eventually. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. But I am going to be rereading it. So if you are interested in doing a buddy read for this anytime soon, this month, please let me know and we can buddy read it together. But I will be reading this throughout the month of August, maybe a little bit into September. It is a big one. I do have the audiobook as well, and I do suggest the audiobook for this. This way you could crush some pages while you're doing some, you know, laundry or whatever you do on your spare time besides reading. So yes, this is a great book. This was a 5 out of 5 star read for me when I first read it, and I can't wait to revisit the world. And next I have here a book that I've been really wanting to get to for the longest time, and that is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I have heard amazing things about this book. This is what they call a modern day classic, and I've been seeing it pop up on BookTube more recently. A lot more people are picking this book up again. I never read anything from Donna Tartt, but from what I understand, The Secret History is about basically secret societies and colleges. So I wanted to read this to kind of fill the void I'm feeling right now about Ninth House and not having an arc of it. So I think by reading this, it'll just prepare me for what's to come with Ninth House. I know this is about murder and like Greek mythology and just to be the whole college experience and, you know, messing with the wrong crowd. So I'm looking forward to getting into this, and I heard it's hard to get into from the beginning, but it kind of just picks up midway. So we'll see my thoughts on it by the end of the month, what I think, and I think I'm gonna love it because it's something different. It's something different than what I've been reading, and that's what I love about my reading tastes, is that I like to switch things up. I don't just read one particular genre or one style of books. I like to read a little bit of everything. It keeps me excited about reading, and it prevents me from getting into a reading slump. So next I have here The Fifth Petal by Bruona Barry. This is a Salem novel, and in a week I am going to be in Salem, so I'm trying to bring Salem books with me while I'm there. This book is a third in, like, I don't want to say it's a series because they're all standalone books, but this writer writes only in Salem. I enjoyed The Lace Reader by this author. I don't know if anyone else has read that, but her stories have like family drama, mystery, thriller. She has some supernatural aspects to her stories. So they all have a little bit of everything. This book particularly is about Halloween, and a kid goes missing on Halloween in Salem, and there's a whole mystery and thriller aspect to this. There's also some supernatural things that happen, and it's about witches. So definitely, if you are looking for a Salem-esque novel, pick up a book by Bruona. I can't pronounce her name, I'm so sorry. Pick up a book by this author because she really does write great Salem setting novel. She must live there or whatever, but you could, if you're someone who visits Salem often like I do or live near Salem, she really hits the nail on the head with the descriptions of the places, and you really feel like you're there. And she makes the atmosphere super spooky as well. You always feel like there's something lurking. So I'm excited to get into this because this is a witch hunt novel. So I am going to be in Salem, and that's where the witch hunts were. So I feel like it's a great book to bring on my vacation with me. Next I have here Violet by Scott Thomas. This is a long-awaited arc for me, and I just want to thank the publisher so much for allowing me an arc of this. I cannot wait to get into this. I have other arcs that I need to get to, but this is my top priority this month. I cannot wait to crack this open and read it. This book is about this woman who, as a kid, she had an imaginary friend, and she suffers a devastating loss and goes back to her hometown to discover that there is an evil lurking under everything, and this imaginary friend that she had when she was a kid is back to haunt her. So, sounds pretty creepy. I'll read you the synopsis in the back because I'm really not good at synopsises, and especially if I didn't read the book yet, I still don't know what it's about. So the synopsis says, for many children, the summer of 1988 was filled with sunshine and laughter, but for 10-year-old Chris Barlow, it was her chance to say goodbye to her dying mother. 3 decades later, loss returns, her husband killed in a car accident, and so Chris goes home to the place where she first knew pain, to that summer house overlooking the crystal waters of Lost Lake. It's there that Chris and her 8-year-old daughter will make their stand against grief. But a shadow has fallen over the quiet lake of Pacington, Kansas. Beneath its surface, an evil has grown, and inside that home where Chris Barlow last saw her mother, an old friend awaits her return. Super spooky, cannot wait, and if you have not read Scott Thomas's Kill Creek, you must do that ASAP. Read it before you pick up this book in September. You will not be disappointed. His writing is marvelous, and I believe he is a screenwriter, so that's probably why he writes such really great descriptive books. So I cannot wait to get into this. Lastly, I have on my list Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. Now, this was on my TBR last month, or well, I started it last month. Didn't really finish it. I'm a quarter, maybe an eighth of a way through, so I'm not counting this in my wrap-up. I'm just gonna count this as my TBR because I need to finish this. I'm really loving the premise of this story. A haunted library, there's demons, there's ghosts, there's magic, there's sorcery, wizards, librarians. I love everything about this book. I just need to read it in quiet time and relax, and I've been just binging so much stuff, like reading so many books, that I just want to dedicate like a week to this book, and only this book, because I feel like it's going to be a new favorite YA series. If it's going to be a series, I don't know, but it's definitely going to be a new favorite YA book for me, that's for sure. And I feel like I'm going to just be in love. I'm just going to be in love, and this cover is just stunning. It's beautiful. The artist, whoever made this cover, is just, oh, the eye. Love it. Love it. So that's it. That's it for my TBR for this month. These are the books that I'm definitely going to be reading. Hopefully, if I decide to pick up anything else, you'll see that in my wrap up. But these are the books that I really would love to get to this month, and I really think I'll get to them because I just don't see why not. That is it. That's all I have for you guys today. And if you like this video, you want to see more from me, just make sure you like and subscribe down below. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye.